right.
We're back.
We're good?
Yeah, we're rolling.
We need to get a sponsorship by whoever makes aluminum.
Okay.
So that way we can just take every aluminum product and be like, the Captain's Dogs is brought to you by the maker of this can.
That is, ooh, I like that. Yeah.
You know? Not
Is
a lot.
there, you think there's like one
There's gotta
aluminum
be,
distributor?
Yeah. And you know it's like some bullshit hillbilly family from like West Virginia that's just making millions and squandering it away
Oh, definitely.
down in their swamp. Are there swamps in West Virginia? That doesn't seem right.
Let me see.
Coal mines of West Virginia, the hills of West Virginia, and mountains.
There's for sure, yeah,
I don't
all
think,
those.
No, don't even. I don't think. There's no swamps.
I don't know, dude. Have you been, like, the bottomland oak swamps are known as the flood plains of several rivers across the state of Ohio, Tiger Valley, Granby, Maponet, and in West Virginia. But it's like only 2,000 acres, which is like big if it's a house, but not if it's a plot of land.
I've spent a little time in the swamp, man. Not too fun. Not a big swamp guy. I like to see through the water.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking when you can't see, even in the ocean. Like,
I think I'm out on the ocean.
Think you are?
I think I'm done getting in. At least, like, I used to surf. I'm done doing that.
Yes.
I don't like my odds. I've been seeing more and more videos of shark attacks. San Clemente, California, there was just a shark attack under the pier. I'm out, dude.
Yeah, and all the best surf spots are right by the pier because of the break that it causes off it.
I've always said I like my odds against a shark, but I just, as time's getting, I'm getting old, so
yeah,
I'm not as elusive in the water anymore. But I was always ready. People when they shadow box, they punch straight like they're punching a human. I always practice punching down.
Oh, aiming for the shark nose.
Yeah, and I have that muscle, that lat started bulging out.
Damn,
the downward,
dude, you got the butterfly wings.
I got the downward butterfly wings.
Yeah, fuck. That's smart, dude. Yeah, you gotta get ready to be ready, I believe is the saying. Yeah, I do.
I don't think that's the saying. I think the saying is stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
There you go. That's
At least that's like the hood saying.
Yeah, what I said, you got to get ready to be ready. Mine's the white version. You got to work hard to get hard work.
You just said the same thing twice.
Yeah,
You got to win. You got to win to win, pretty much.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Speaking of winning, dude, Dallas just getting stomped out.
Cooked, yeah.
Just getting crap pumped.
By the time this comes out, I will guarantee that by the time this comes out, the Boston Celtics have won, because that would mean I think next Friday would be Game 6, and then that Sunday is Game 7. So I think they're getting swept, or at best the gentleman's sweep. Dallas
is losing. I bet if the rim was shaped like a president's head, they'd make more shots.
They would.
Get Lee Harvey, dude. You got to strap him up, dude. He could be draining threes.
Yeah, he's got to be a good shooter.
That's the best shot we've ever seen out of Dallas.
Well, that's the thing. You think it's Lee Harvey, but then it's actually another guy who made the shot.
Absolutely, see? Yeah. It's the sixth man.
Yeah. That was good, dude. You're not a sports guy. That was good, right there. I'm not
a sports guy, but I pulled it out. I think the only six man. Who do you think of when I say six man?
James Harden.
Oh, really?
Who do you think of?
J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith, yeah.
Dude, all time.
Yeah, he was
the Lakers won when the Lakers won the championship, which was in the COVID year, so I don't.
Yes.
It's asterisk. Oh, both my teams won in the COVID year, by the way.
Yeah, the COVID year shit. For the Dodgers, it really sucked because you should have won against the Astros, but they were cheating.
Yeah, they cheated, dude.
So you're just kind of fucked on that.
But where was I getting at here?
We were talking about Dallas.
Oh, yeah, no. But when the Lakers won, dude, before the buzzer went off, J.R. Smith had his shirt off.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
J.R. Smith is the man. Like, I remember I've never really been super into basketball as a kid. Like, my parents never watched it. So I was just like, I'm a Lakers fan, but I'd watch like 0 games a year, even when Kobe was playing.
Yeah. And keep going.
And then I played basketball my freshman year, so I was like, I need to pick a team, obviously, And I decided to just pick the Knicks because I thought Carmelo was cool when I played 2K. So I was a Knicks fan for.
Oh my gosh, hold on.
For 1 year.
That's the same reason why I was kind of into the Knicks. This was 2000. Hold on. This had to be. It was NBA 2013.
Yes.
Was like the big one. I would play. It was Steve Novak. I would take him off the bench. He was draining threes.
No one knows that when I talk about
Hold on. And it was J.R. Smith and Steve Novak were just like machines.
Yes.
Would not miss a three.
Bro, this is bringing
and then
me
you had
joy.
Carmelo. I would put him at small forward.
Yes.
But he was more actually. Yeah, I would put him at small forward, but he was a power forward.
Yeah, but you could take Stoudemire.
Stoudemire with the glasses,
and put him at center. And then there was Tyson Chandler at center and just get fucking rebounds.
There was Tyson Chandler, Stoudemire, and then you would have Carmelo Anthony at small forward, and then Steve Novak, which is the whitest guy ever, who would not miss.
He's a power forward too, because he's like 6'10", but he can't score outside the paint.
Dude, G-Eazy had a rap lyric about making threes. Steve Novak.
Steve Novak's the man, dude. I'm like that. We've done this pod for like a year and a half, and I don't think I've ever got more excited than that right now.
Bro, I would. That team was amazing.
Yeah, it was so fun, and so that made me fall in love, and like that was
a good. The other two honorable mention to the Portland Trailblazers that year.
Yeah, they were nasty.
And then who's another team I often use? I think it was like the Bobcats. Like they had like Kid Gilchrist as a rookie and Kemba Walker as a rookie.
Yeah, Kemba was nice.
Kemba Walker, one of my favorite NBA players of all time.
Yeah.
I love Kemba Walker, dude. That drop back. Yeah, he is
nasty. He like made that. I just remember being like a teenager, and just every pickup game you were always like Kemba, and you do the step back and just fucking brick it, but for a brief second.
We've never connected more than NBA 2K13. I mean, seriously, that was my squad. And once you find your squad and like you're comfortable with it, that was like the most. And I remember then I started watching them play.
Yeah.
And it's like they had a couple playoff runs, and then they would
just always get 0-4. They lost to like LeBron and the Heat one year.
Yeah, and then Carmelo went to the Lakers from there, right?
Yeah, and he was not great on the Lakers. No. JR, I mean, kind of had a sad end to his career, but like that was also JR just came back from playing overseas because they had the lockout.
Yeah,
and he was like, I don't think this season's gonna happen. So he just started playing for like a China team at like a high contract. So then he came mid-season to the Knicks.
Yeah.
And, like, his dunks were so fucking sick. Because he's, like, kind of he looks tiny on an NBA court.
Right.
Probably, like, 6'6".
Who's this?
J.R. Smith. He would have crazy dunks.
But he's, like, I just, like, prison tatted up.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Neck all the way up to the ears.
Neck all the way up to the ears. He is 6'6". Yeah, fuck. Video game shit like that is so fun.
Dude, I think you could put in... Jason Kidd. I think Jason Kidd was a 6 man.
Yeah. They had him he was the backup point guard, and it was like him, and also they had like Raymond Felton or whatever.
Oh yeah, there was Raymond Felton.
Yeah, they were a little squad, dude.
Pablo Prigioni. That's a deep cut.
Yeah, dude, there was just some some European fuck. I'm playing.
Pablo Prigioni. He looked like Pitbull. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so, and I don't.
It's been a shame if that didn't make it in the pod.
It's so crazy what translates to what I like for video games, because like the sports that I played, I never played like MLB was never fun for me. I didn't like playing that.
Yeah.
And I played baseball and I played football. I don't like Madden that much, but loved NBA, loved FIFA. Two sports I didn't play.
I didn't get introduced. I never played FIFA until a year ago. And
FIFA's great.
Awesome.
Unreal.
It's I think out of all the sports games, it's the like, unless you're like nasty, there's not the most giant skill gap.
Yeah.
And there's so many teams that you can just be like, oh, this guy doesn't play a lot. Fine, I'll be an MLS team. You be a Premier League team. And then once they learn just kind of the basic controls, it's not like Madden where you can call these like sweaty plays that work every time.
Yeah, dude. There's always like an under the radar black guy who's just filthy with the sticks on FIFA.
Yeah.
Just dirty with the deeks.
Yeah. Winston Dean's nasty.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
he's great.
He's like a and I say this with all due respect, he's a soccer black.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He played college goalie, but yeah, I know.
Did he really? He was keeper, huh?
Yeah, he's a keeper.
Yeah, wow, look at that. He's a big man.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I played pickup with him one time, and it was funny.
Pickup soccer.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We just like we used to.
There's no way you were good.
I actually was not that bad.
Really?
Like, well, I mean,
Where'd they put you? They put you in the post?
I played defense.
Okay.
I played defense.
Defense is, dude. Look, when I played I played one season of soccer and I was horrible. Yeah. All the good players they put on defense. Our whole team was just defensed up.
Yeah, that was I didn't score, which sucked. I had one opportunity that was about to be so nice, and Winston made a fucking insane save on me, and I was like, "You fucking asshole! You couldn't let me have that."
That's horrible.
Because how it happened was, dude, I was on the bike at the gym, and I just looked across the street, and there's a bunch of like probably like seniors in high school and like some college kids playing pickup soccer, and then I see Winston in goal, and I stop by, and they're like, "Dude, we need another player." I'm like, "I've never played soccer in my life," and they're like, "Bro, come on out, come play."
Did you have cleats?
Yeah, because I have football cleats. Okay. So I went and grabbed my cleats, and I came back.
Cleats make a difference.
Stretched because I'm an old man, you know. Yeah. And then I was like kind of nice at defense. I mean, I was like I was going crazy, putting my life on the line, going probably way harder than anyone was there.
You know what cleats don't make sense are baseball cleats. I feel like they're so heavy.
They have metal in them. You knew that, right?
Yeah, and they have metal. I get, but they're running on dirt, so that kind of makes sense. But like,
yeah.
But the baseball, anytime I watch baseball, it looks like they're fucking jogging. Am I the only one?
No, I'm with you.
Like when a ball gets past an outfielder, it never looks like there's any urgency. Like, it's like a cool guy thing. What is that?
Yeah, I think almost that's like when it's like panicked with like, oh shit. Now I have to run full speed. And you're like, wait, what do you mean now you have to run? Yeah. I think it's just that thing where you hit so many at bats that you're just like, oh, that's in the gap. I have the speed of a double. That's a double. Like I can get a stand up double. Like I think early on in your career, you're pushing it and diving head first. But by like year 6, you're like, no, I know who I am.
Everything about baseball is great because it's just like old, fired up Italian men like screaming, and like half their players don't understand them. That's another thing with baseball now. It's like the Dodgers. There's 6 players that need a translator with a different language. It's like dude. Let me tell you, that must be the quietest fucking clubhouse. Oh, there's no way they're or it's the loudest.
Yeah, just because it's like 4 different dialects going on at once at different volumes.
A lot of whistling. I mean, because just to communicate, you can't. Like I've been in situations where like you can't talk to the other, and you're just like snapping, pointing.
Yeah, a lot
of
pointing. Like you know each other's names. Like
boys spent some time in Japan, dude, and I was in some rooms where I'm like, oh man, they don't speak any English. We are really.
Yeah, when I was in Korea one morning, I just was like, I'm going to go fucking walk around the city because no one else was awake. And that was weird because I didn't know an ounce of Korean. So I would just get into places and they'd be like, we don't know English. And I'd be like, okay, goodbye.
Yeah, well, dude, Japan was the first place I ever experienced actual racism, dude. And I don't necessarily blame them. But me and my boy Buddha, shout out to Buddha, number 1 shout outed person on this podcast. Buddha. Keep doing your thing. We were walking through like, maybe Harajuku, I don't know, dude, deep in Tokyo, like an area I was not familiar with, and we went down into this bar, and we walked in, and everyone dude, it was like a scene from like imagine like the piano stopped. I mean, everyone just looked at us
like Rush Hour.
Yes, it was crazy.
Or Shanghai Noon is what it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we and it's actually perfect for this because they were literally all Asian. But they come up to us and hit us with this, no gaijin, hit me with the X, and like push us out. We couldn't stay in there. And to be fair, it's like Americans, I mean, we have a horrible reputation. Yeah. And a lot of us, we go to these countries and just expect them to know our language.
It's loud. Insane. Like, it's probably like you guys might have been fine and you probably would have, but there's probably just been loud, drunk Americans in there just like disrupting their peace.
Man. I mean, I used to get so... I started to hate America a little bit when I was over there because I would get more so I would hate Americans.
Yeah. For ruining it.
Like, dude, because I was like, I would be on so for instance, they have this word, I always forget what it is. I mean, I didn't learn the language at all, like I should have, but they just care about the betterment of the environment before themselves. It's the guy next to you mentality. It's name on the front of the jersey, not the back. And so, like, on a train, and this is in public for strangers, like, you're just always thinking about other people. I don't want to annoy them. I don't want to inconvenience them. In America, it's me, 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 me. Yeah. And, like, I started to realize that. It's like you can really feel it in the culture. Like, when you go on the train, everyone who takes the train is, like, a fucking working-class person. And, like, they're going to work, coming from work, transitioning. They're busy people. They work hard over there. Yeah. And they have just a rule amongst everyone, like, no speaking on the train. Like, it's quiet, and if you do speak, you keep it down. And then I would be on the train with like my American buddies at night, and they're just like, don't care that they're loud and screaming. They think it's funny when Japanese people are like looking at them angrily. It's like, and I'm just getting embarrassed. Like, I'll go to a different car. It's like, I'm not with you guys anymore, dude. I can't stand it. Japanese people, do you be in a line with them, and they're just fanning themselves, like don't care that it's like a long line for like a coffee. Me and my dad got to wait for 7 minutes every step. It's just.
Yeah, so much bitching.
Yeah,
how much longer?
It's. I mean, I bleed red, white, and blue. When I said I was starting to hate America, I did not mean that at all. I love America.
I could see it in your eyes.
But I started to like the culture was like, I wish we were a little more like this. I wish we cared about others more than we do ourselves.
Yeah. Because I get a little bit of like, oh, it's cool. We like us the most. But it's like, yeah, just like. Don't be dickheads, because other cultures are cool as fuck.
Yeah, but it comes with the capitalistic nature, which I I half stand. Yeah, I'm with it. Like, you know, if there's opportunity to be made, make it.
Of course.
Make the money and all that stuff. But that becomes like selfish.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the nature of us. But with that being said, I think we also do like show up for each other.
Definitely.
Like America, like after 9/11, like moments like that, like America comes together and it's loud. You can feel it.
Yeah, I also think like most Americans are good. And granted, like you said, it's normally to other Americans, but it's like if we were like walking down the street at night and like someone like came up and hit me in the back of the head, like I think there would be a group of people that would be like, we got to fuck that guy up.
Absolutely.
And it's like, that's cool. Or like if like someone stole a woman's purse, like there would be like 4 or 5 guys that probably just tackle the dude.
Yeah, where there's some countries where like the mentality is keep your head down, keep walking. That's his problem.
Mind your own.
He probably earned it.
But it does go. I mean, it does go hand in foot where it's like, okay, yes, here in Austin, I would do that. But if we were like out at night in like on the road in Baltimore and that happened, I would be like, that sucks for that lady.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain points where you can't. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'd like to think we at least call the cops.
Of course, but I'm not. I don't know if I'm like chasing down like someone who looks like a real gangster or like a real criminal compared to like someone here who's probably just like a homeless person.
That's the mistake, is the pursuit. We shouldn't pursue anyone or anything. We should just stop wrongdoing if we can.
Yes.
If you see a lady getting mugged, try to stop it. Understand you might get stabbed.
Yeah.
That's a personal decision you got to make. I don't know that lady. She means nothing to me. Her problem. And I think that's kind of fair. If like I'm just like, and I'm not even. I don't mean you specifically. I'm doing like the. Who's that? You know, like the. I mean, what's the saying where it's like, or the question, the philosophical question: would you kill one person to save 1,000, or kill nobody
and let 1,000
die?
Yeah.
Like with your hands.
Yeah, it's a dilemma. Because that's literally, I was just, when you said that, I was thinking about the homeless thing. I was just like, man, like, I would feel horrible if I just minded my own business. But also, like, going to save her, the struggle, I get stabbed. And then that moment where, like, maybe I'm going to die, just being like.
And then you got, like, how many people, like, why the fuck didn't he just mind his own business? He could be right here, right now.
I'm
so many people are
alone,
mad. Like, dude, I'd be so pissed off if I found out my girlfriend tried to stop a mugging and got stabbed. Like, that would be my instinct. Like, what were you gonna stop?
Like,
what were you gonna stop?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I would be so mad, but also then, like, eventually it's like, what a fucking badass bitch.
Yeah, you got to come around to it.
But it takes a while. It's the more you love them, the longer it takes to come around to the resolution, I feel like.
Yeah, that'd be brutal. I heard getting stabbed hurts.
You heard? You can't just put that 2 and 2 together?
But I heard it's like, isn't it supposedly worse than a gunshot wound because it's less clean?
Yeah, well, like those, yes, things are getting, well, it depends. I don't know, because like a bullet can like rattle around and hit a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, the AR bullets, they say like make fragments.
I think I'd rather I'll tell you this 100%, and I've said this before, I would rather get shot in the arm than OC sprayed, maced in the face.
Oh, really?
Dude, I've
Have you been shot?
No.
Okay.
So if
no, I'm not like discrediting you. I just was like, if you had been shot and that, I'd be like,
that's a fair. Then
I would go around telling.
Then it's gospel.
That.
Yeah,
then it's gospel. Yeah, I'd go preach your word.
But right now, I've only been OC sprayed in the Navy, and I believe OC is like the strong. It's like what cops have. So like the things
the bear mace.
What some drunk dude stuck in my face at sunset the other night. I don't know if I told you that.
No.
That was just like that's like pepper spray.
Yes.
And then I think it like there's more severe degrees that you need like a license to get.
Yeah.
But the one in the Navy was, I believe, the highest OC spray. Somebody can check me on that. I don't know, but. They would go, tss, tss, and then you have to like 2 sprays to both your eyes, and then you have to do an obstacle course. And it was just, I remember going into it, it's like, all right, it's gonna be like soap in the eyes. Your eyes are gonna sting. Just play through like you're not a pussy.
Yeah.
And then immediately it's like, your eyes sting, of course, but it feels like you just got hammer fisted in the face. Like I can't explain it, dude. Like you just took a flying
like
elbow, dude.
Almost.
Insane. Like how bad my face hurts. Like you just took a flying elbow to the nose, and then every time you blink, it's like shards of glass. It's not like it stings. Like it's like it literally felt like something was in my eyes. It was insane. Like something was moving. It was insane. And then on top of all of that, you just can't breathe. It's
fuck that,
horrible.
And it is. remind me, did you have to do that, or is that an opt-in, opt-out thing?
This is the Navy's. This is how they get away with bullying. Honestly, like it's like a tradition. So basically, we're on a when you're on a ship, you have to stand a sentry guard, and they give you pepper spray. Mm-hmm. And like the whole thing is, especially because we're in the Navy and we're not cops. So like if we have to take someone down, we have to make sure they meet the deadly force triangle: intent, opportunity, capability.
Yeah.
So like, if you had a knife right now, but you're sitting right there, you don't have the opportunity to stab me because you can't reach me.
Yeah.
But if you stand up and take a step, you now have the opportunity. You've shown content because you've walked towards me, and you have the capability because you have a weapon.
Oh shit. Okay.
So
yeah.
all three of those have to be met.
You have to almost wait till he's stabbing you.
Dude, that's why it's crazy. Even these guys, these like Army Rangers in Iraq, like that thing has to be met for them to pull the trigger, or they can go to Leavenworth. It's
Jesus
insane.
Christ.
Yeah, it puts so much pressure on us. Honestly,
that's insane.
But so like they want you to use the baton, pepper spray, everything before the bullet, basically. And I'm like, dude, yeah, right. If someone comes at me, 2 to the head, 2 to the chest, we're calling it a night. But luckily that never happened. But anyways, the whole point of the training, the way they justify it is because they give us pepper spray. And if you were to pepper spray someone, you're like most likely going to get a mist. And so they want you to be able to deal with it if it ever gets in your eyes. You could still take down the person. Because like that was the obstacle course. I had a baton. I was taking down people wearing pads. And dude, like they were like, you can't lose your baton. They would like rip the baton out and like throw it like fucking like Tom Brady.
This is hazing. This is awesome.
Insane, dude.
That sucks ass.
I never got to be on the other side of it, where I'm like holding pads and fucking with people, so I don't feel how it's fun. I only got to be the hazing part. But then why don't? My argument was then just let me miss. Don't you open my eyelids with that spray? That's how like close and like hard. Like why don't we just do a mist? And then afterwards, like everyone's supposed to do 20 minutes with the hose, but I couldn't even open my eyes. Like you're supposed to just put the hose to your eye, and I couldn't even do it. And then in the shower, I reflashed.
What?
Yeah, dude. It went down. My balls started burning. It was crazy.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was horrible.
No, so this is like probably genuinely one of the worst days of your life.
It's not the worst day of my life.
Oh yeah, I guess you had the worst. Yeah, okay, yeah, my bad.
But the worst physical pain I've ever felt. And I've never broke my back. The only thing I've ever had is a boxer's fracture. And I didn't like even have to wear a
the
cast.
thing about like a broken, because I broke my clavicle and I've broken some fingers.
Break someone's clavicle.
Yeah. And now it's super strong. Now like I can't break it almost.
Yeah.
But the thing about the broken bone is it hurts initially. You're like, oh fuck, and then your body like makes it go numb.
Yeah.
And then really? You're like, and then you normally go to like
shock.
A doctor. Yeah, you get like shock.
Yeah.
And then you're immediately being given something soon.
Yeah.
I that is crazy. That sounds so fucking horrible, the pain.
Dude, it's unreal. I don't wish it upon anybody. And some drunk person at Sunset the other night was like in the back causing a ruckus.
Yeah.
He had like a recorder with him.
Like for a news story?
Well, dude, that's what's funny is the floor manager's like, yo, this dude's got a recorder, and I'm thinking, how the fuck did he get a flute in here?
A recorder. He's playing hot cross buns in between comics.
Recorder, and I looked down, he's got like an FBI like handheld recorder. Yeah, like you said. Like
what show is this for?
I probably shouldn't say.
Okay, but when was it? No, at night, and I can figure it out through my own.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you later.
Well, because I'm just imagining like.
My thing is like if you have that, what other reason than like stealing jokes or trying to burn someone out? Like what do you have that for? You're gonna go home and jack off. You can't go to the strip club and film the ladies and go wank it later. You can't do that in our club either.
No, and the weird thing is if it's like one of those showcases where it's like it's comics at our level, like well, you're trying to cancel someone with 1,000 followers who works here at this club. Like what's happening?
Well, it wasn't.
What was it? Oh, no. I meant like did you find out what he was trying to record?
No,
like,
I have no idea. I have no idea, but I believe it was deleted. Anyways, this guy ended up whipping out mace, and like the cops were involved. It was crazy.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, it was insane.
That's fucking insane.
It was wild. He like ran away and like left his girlfriend there. It was like the craziest thing. It was wild, dude.
That's insane.
It was so
man.
Weird. Yeah, I'll tell you more. I'll tell you more about it.
Yeah, no worries.
It was strange.
Damn,
yeah,
dude,
if you ever see that, dude, just walk away. If someone whips out the mace on you, you win, dude. Take my wallet, take everything.
It's just not.
If they get you, bro, you're not gonna play through.
Yeah,
I promise you.
There's no defense.
That's what like some of these guys that I was with were like, yo, like let's get him. I'm like, dude, like you guys are talking. No, no. Because they're like, we're not getting, they're like, we're getting maced tonight. Someone said that. I'm like, no, we're not. We are not.
No, yeah.
It's not an option.
Like, yeah, I think like you said, people, in my mind too, I was always like, it's going to hurt really bad for like, you know, it's going to be like eating a really spicy wing. Yeah, it's going to hurt for a little bit.
It's taking you out. It's taking you out for the night at least.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
It's horrendous.
Fuck that. Yeah, it's not worth it. Getting in fights with people at comedy shows.
It's a great place. This is a great pivot point.
Yeah.
This is a great pivot point, by the way, because I don't want you to feel bad about last night because I know you thought you bombed.
Yes.
You did not. That was a show from hell.
I mean, I got the vibes and I never want to make excuses, but I did not feel good after it. And I, you know, I knew no one was upset. We were already laughing about it.
Yeah. It was, I have a picture that is so funny of, and you know, because you saw me take the picture, but Erica helping you with your girlfriend helping you with the tripod after, and it's like, dude, 20 years down the line, that's got to go on the fridge at least.
Oh yeah,
that is such a nice picture of like, and you're smiling, but in your eyes
you
can just look
see
dead.
it. Yeah,
you look like a great white shark.
Yeah, because obviously like none of the listeners were there, but it was like probably like an 8-person show.
It was 11.
But
it was a cold open, so you went first. Open. Nobody did any jokes before you.
I was telling this because I came here and I ran into like Brandon and like Zach and like Aiden and all the like bar guys here, and I was there like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, dude, man, I had to cold open, and I'm cold opening this show too, and I was like, I told myself I hadn't cold opened shows in like probably like a month, and I was like, it's not that bad. It's how you go up there. And I was like, and I told myself like, oh, I'm going to go up there and do well. Like, I'm going to prove that the cold open's not that bad. And then, man, I just talked to like 10 people who hated me to silence for like.
Well, it like for the cold open, they really matter. The audience.
Yeah.
Like I cold open every Friday and every Sunday at Sunset Strip, which is, I'm very blessed to work there often, and I love that club so much, but it's like a tough room. It's huge.
Yeah.
You know, big ceilings, long room.
Yeah, and any small crowd's not like an easy crowd.
But like that's a very common room, so I'm glad I get to like do that all the time.
Yeah.
And the cold open's tough in there, but like if my set goes well, I know the show is going to be great because like very often it's like the third joke they start listening to me.
Yeah, they're so like shocked by you coming on stage. Like, it's hard. It's hard, like, because every crowd differs. Sometimes you need to do crowd work. Sometimes you don't. Like, sometimes it just is all over the place of what works.
Every other live entertainment kind of makes sense. Like a comedy show is very weird, especially nowadays, because you walk in. Most clubs lock up your phone. You sit down, and now you're just sitting. There's not much going on. A lot of clubs don't offer food, so it's just drinks. You're probably going to... And if I'm a bored drinker.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm sitting somewhere waiting for something, like, I'm going to have a beer.
Yeah.
And if I finish, I'm going to have another one if I have time.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do that sometimes.
Of course.
BetterHelp.com if you need it. But no, So yeah, there's that like situation. Then out of nowhere, like someone comes up and starts saying like crazy words,
you're
and, like, slurs and stuff that you don't hear in the cubicles.
And like you said, your phones are locked away, and there's no show happening, so you are like inclined to talk and conversate, and then suddenly.
But it's also very common for people to go to a show alone. That happens a lot. So now you're just sitting there,
getting antsy.
And if you don't show up early, you're gonna get a bad seat.
Yeah.
So like that's the incentive to show up early, but then you're just bored sitting there twiddling your thumbs. And every other entertainment, like music and all that, there's like an opener, there's places to stand, there's music, like you understand what's going on. Sports, like a game's about to start, this is all going to make, they even do a first pitch. That's like the opener, that's the cold open, it's the first pitch, dude.
Yeah, there's like some fun music that plays. But
you got the mascots racing around, it's great. It's a good build-up, it all makes sense. You can walk in, you know what ending's going on. If you walk in the middle of a comedy show, it's so I'm almost, unless it's like a guy like Mark Norman who's just doing setup punch. If you walk in the middle of a set, just wait for the next guy.
Yeah, it's hard to like pick up on his vibe, and then like a lot of you try to do little callbacks or references to jokes earlier in a set and stuff. So it doesn't make it's not as fun. But yeah, it was just it was brutal. I ate a fucking dick, and then it was funny. I came here and like I got off and like they were like, "How was it?" And I go like, "I genuinely don't know." Like people laughed throughout the whole set. I don't know how much. I bombed so hard at the first show that the fact that they were making any noise felt like I was crushing.
Yeah, I've been there.
Because it was soul sucking, that first one.
Well, so the more and more it went, I think like the third comic kind of got their attention and started to do well. But then something, because like 7 p.m. in the middle of the summer in Austin is a very hard sell.
Yeah.
This show has been tough because of that reason.
The light's still coming in from the window.
Yeah,
like,
it's just hard to feel like you're at a comedy club and you're done for the night, and it like feels like you're gonna have a lot of day left after. It's weird. And last night not a lot of tickets were sold, and so the way like it's a round stage in the middle, and they sit around you, and the way everyone was seating is like they can all make eye contact with each other,
and it was all spread out. Like there was like kind of 6 people in this area, and then there was like 4 over here.
Due to the quaintness of the room and the intimacy of the environment, if you started to ask a question and one person would answer, someone from across the audience would answer that question and start having a conversation. So now everyone's just talking to each other, and it happened through everyone's set. Where like everyone's having a conversation, and it's like there's no control, and it got like crazy. And then I got up there, I kind of got a hold of them a little. We were having fun, and then I was bantering with this girl, and it started to she like insulted me. And then I insulted her back, and we were like insulting each other kind of. And then anyways, it resulted with me calling her the B word.
Yeah. Which
got a huge pop from everybody, even her. But I left feeling so bad because I've done this before, and it ended horribly.
Yeah.
Anyways, I saw the girl, and I apologized. She ended up Venmoing me $60.
Wow.
I called her a B word, dude, into the microphone.
Damn, you alphaed the shit out of her,
in a spotlight. And anyways, it was funny because like she's like, I feel so bad. Like you finally, like, you were telling jokes, they were funny, and I just like interrupted. She's like, can I please zell you? And I was like, I mean, what? You don't have to do that. That's crazy. Like, don't zell me. And she kept insisting. I was like, I mean, do you have like rich parents? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, zell me. I'll take daddy's money. Mm-hmm. I don't give a damn.
I respect that.
Yeah. So that was a win. It was the weirdest thing.
Well, I'm glad it ended good, because it's also the shitty thing about like cold opening is like, I don't mind doing it. I'm truly not one of those people that like will run from it. I do it a lot. I used to do it all the time for Monks, and it would go very well at Monks normally.
Yeah.
The thing that sucks the most is you're like, did I just ruin the show for everyone?
Dude, I've been there, bro.
You have that moment.
I've been there. But the thing is you only ruin it if you're doing things that are ruining it. Like if you're just doing your jokes the way you are and they're not hitting, that's not on you. Especially because I've seen those jokes work. So it's like, you have to just know what comedy is to understand that. But like, you can just look and observe and be like, all right, obviously these people kind of suck. There's like a mom with 2 of her underage children there.
That's crazy.
They were 18, not completely underage.
But still, like you can't drink, and you were like, let's go to a comedy show. And I mean, I also do feel bad for audiences a little bit in that situation, because like when you bought tickets to that show,
right? That's not how you pictured it.
You didn't think that you were going to be one of 10 audience members.
Yeah.
I'm
the type of guy where if I buy the ticket and walk into that, have my money. I'm gone.
Yeah, I would genuinely.
Yeah.
Especially now, because we understand comedy more. I'd be like, yeah, we're leaving, and I. Dude, shout out to small crowds that buy in, because those can be some of the funnest when you're like,
sometimes
there's 12 people, but they all sat front row. They all loved it. Everyone had good sets. Dude, they didn't heckle.
I hosted the closer last Sunday, and it was like 25 people, and it was one of the fun. Like it was one of the best shows we've had. Like such a good set, such a fun crowd, and it's like, oh, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, it's just like you said. It's fucking It's part of like the everyday grind, but it's cold opening, it sucked. And then I went up to Rockies though, and I had a good set there, so that was fun. I got to close that out.
Yeah, that makes a difference, dude.
It makes a difference. It was fun too, because I wrote a joke that day, and I told it like on that show when I was just bombing. I was like, all right, well, might as well try something new, and it got very minimal laughter. And then I did it here at the next show, and it got some more. And then on the third show, it did like great, and I was like, oh, that was fun. Like I was able to trim fat last night and get part of it done, and not feel as bad. But even on the ride home, you get home, I chiefed a little, you start to get in your feelings, and I was just like,
oh yeah, dude.
God, that was so bad. Like I looked like all those people were like, man, that guy, like they might have been in the car ride home and been like, that show was bad, and be like, dude, that first guy was horrible.
Well, have I ever talked about on here how what happened? I did a show in, like in the middle of nowhere, Texas, and like I caused like a riot. Did I not tell you this? This happened like maybe a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
I did a show. Shout out to Dean Stanfield, always putting me on, lets me feature for him, lets me do guest spots for him when he headlines clubs. Dean's the man. He's in one of the newest Scoot videos that's coming out.
Oh hell yeah!
But Dean put on this show in this cool like lounge. I felt like Nat King Cole. Like it was that kind of like old school like. I mean, there was like a freaking like leopard skin on the wall and a damn elk head and a freaking beaver tail. That wasn't there, but that'd be cool.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, no, I'd be out on that. Fuck, don't kill beavers.
Yeah, beavers
I like the beavers.
Yeah,
dude. I like the beavers. I like any animal that works together. Yeah. Also, but I mean, I love what they're doing. The gas stations changing the game. Honestly, I get overwhelmed though. I can never choose a urinal.
It's scary. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's intimidating. Wait, you don't remember the name of the city by any chance? For me, it will only matter really for me. So if you don't, it's not a big deal.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Is it like a couple hours away or like an hour outside?
It's 2 hours away. I can't remember.
Is it like Lockhart or something?
No, not Lockhart.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But
just like one of those, like one of the real Texas towns.
Yeah, and so the show was going on, and it wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
It was much like the show that you and I drove 2.5 hours for once, where it's like, yes, this would be fun if I could scooter here in 7 minutes and do a spot, but like to drive 2-3 major cities over, probably not
worth it. Yeah.
And so like that's how I felt, but it was fun. I was with the boys, like it was a good squad, and so I was like 6th on the lineup, second to last, and I go up there and it's going all right. My jokes are hitting. They're like talking to me. It's just, honestly, it's not that many people. The lights are kind of on. It's like a lounge, like I said. And then this group of like 4 ladies and 2 guys walks in, and they're so loud, and they're just like talking all the way to the table. And I just had enough at that point. And they sit down, and then like I'm telling jokes, and it's like working. And I'm starting to do well, and this one lady just keeps yelling out at me. And like flatlining everything, like just throwing everything off, like
she's
stopping.
Just like being a bitch. For no reason.
People are laughing, and then she'll yell something out, and the laughter stops. And I'm like you're ruining the momentum. And we started going back and forth, and I can't even remember at this point. But again, now this was the first time it's ever happened. Last night was the second. I hope it never happens again. But I called her the B word, and oh my God, dude, when I just like, it was one of those moments where like I'm gonna say this, and everyone's gonna rally behind me, and even she's gonna think it's funny and realize she is kind of being a bitch, and she's gonna stop. And then I said that, and it was just like the match just hit the gasoline and just like,
oh God.
Her face went from like kind of playful to like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. One of her dudes looks at Dean's like, hey, this is enough. Like, what's going on with this guy? Like, pointing at me. A lady that was on my side the entire show stands up, walks across the room, and hugs the lady that I just called the B word.
Oh, no.
And then she's like, to all the women that are still laughing, would you want to be called a bitch? And then, like, one of the dudes who, like, there was a group of, like, old men that were, like, drinking light beers that were like, you are being a bitch, shut up. And then, like, her boyfriend's like, what the fuck did you say? And, like, comes over and, like, starts a fight with this guy. And I, like, still have the microphone in my hand. I'm, like, looking at Dean, like, kind of smiling. And, like, he's, like, smiling at me, but he's, like, also, like, what the fuck have you just done? Like, because I think, like, that was, like, the first installment of this. I may have ruined it for him. Like, I have no idea. I literally was so embarrassed, dude. Dave J was there, who was a father figure to me this night. He took me under his wing. He's like, you just can't get mad. You can't get mad like that. Like, that sucked. And she almost deserved it.
But you let her win.
You let her win.
Yeah.
You can't get mad. And look how shitty you feel. And, like, dude, it was horrible. There was a comic after me, dude.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, again, that feeling of just fucking it for someone else.
Yeah, it was only one more. And, like, the thing is, the show already, like, kind of sucked. There was a lot of, like, heckling and all that stuff. So it's not like I ruined, like, a perfect show.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I felt so guilty. And then it's a 2-hour drive home. And I'm just sulking, dude. Like, I'm just, like, I feel so bad. I feel like Dean, I'm like, there goes, I'm out of the Dean Stanfield crew. He's never given me a spot again.
Yeah.
Of course, he was like, brother, that was a great story. What are you talking about? He's so cool,
yeah, that
dude.
is
like,
amazing.
He's so forgiving. And, like, the amount that he paid me was insane. I wanted to send it back.
Oh, that's great.
I was like, dude, I don't deserve this. But yeah, I never want that to. And the thing is when I said it to that girl last night, it was way more playful, and she did laugh. But I still felt horrible.
Mm-hmm.
You just
it's just like a certain I get what you mean because I've flipped out too before, and it's just embarrassing.
And my girlfriend, like, who's a fan of comedy, she's like, it's so cringy when comics get mad at the like. That's not the point of comedy. It's like to make us laugh and to like, for everyone to be happy. And like you're getting mad, like just try a different joke. If it's not working, write harder. Like,
oh yeah, and there's nothing worse. It drives Erica insane too when someone's just like,
oh, when a joke doesn't hit, and they're like, oh, you don't hear that too.
Not as much.
Yeah.
But like, when someone's just like, oh.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I guess you guys don't know what funny is, or just like, they're like, oh, what, that wasn't funny to you? Like, it's like, okay, what's happening right
I went through an era where like I'd be having a good set and then one joke wouldn't work and I'd be like, see, that makes no sense. You guys laughed about this, but you're not laughing at this? Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
and it's like that you just crushed any momentum you had.
They don't want to have a point proven to them. They don't want you to put their face in the piss.
Because then it's like, what, you're just trying to make us feel stupid? We paid to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's a fickle battle with these people that just feel like they need to talk, man. There's open mics all over the city.
Yeah.
Go sign up. I never understand going to a show and like calling out and like, because I've seen that when people like just try to take over a show from the audience and it's like it's not gonna work.
Yeah, the worst too is when they like at the start of the show they say like, it's a heckle. It's not meant in harm, but they yell something out, and it gets a laugh from the crowd, and even you're like, oh, okay, that was funny. Like,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'll keep doing that. I'm helping them.
Right.
And then you're like, see the comic be like, hey man, cut it out, and they're like, no, I'm helping you, and you're like, no, you're not.
Dude, I was on. I may have said this before on this. I don't know. It was a long time ago, so it doesn't matter. But I was on a show it was a really cool lineup, and I got to bring up Brian Simpson, and I like went out to the showroom to watch him, and he was on stage crushing, and this lady who was in the audience all night was yelling out, and it was getting to the point where he was like doing a build up. He was like, "What'd you say?" And then he goes a whole new direction. She's like ruining his jokes. She's like completely interrupting him. So I just kind of took the liberty because like I noticed nobody was doing anything, and I just walked up to her. I'm like, hey, can you just stop? And I may have been a little mean. I was like, hey, stop doing that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I walked away, and she stopped. And then after the show, I was on the show after, so I stuck around. She walked up to me at the bar and was just like, dude, so mad and so taken back. She's like, I was helping him. Like, I enjoyed the entire show. Like, I wasn't yelling out to heckle. I was yelling out because like I liked what he was saying. And I'm like, right, I get that. And I'm sorry if I came off aggressive because you were having fun. I could have just like been nicer. But the point is you were interrupting his jokes. Like he didn't get to do the set he wanted to do. And this is a huge pull for the club. Like this is a big name. And if he comes here and sees someone yelling at him and no one's doing anything about it, he might not want to come back. And she just wouldn't take no for an answer. Kept telling me how wrong I was. Like that's when I realized like, and then Haley, the manager, came over and she's like, she saw what was happening. She's like, can I talk to you? And she just saved me. She had nothing to say.
That's
she
great.
just got me out of there. God bless her.
Yeah, God bless.
But yeah, I just couldn't like. Some people just hate being told that they're wrong or hate being corrected, and I'm that person sometimes too. But I'm quick to put my hand up when I am in the wrong. You gotta be.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, just sit there and listen. And if someone asks you a question, say something.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, it's not that hard. I will say though, as like someone who runs shows too, it is hard to tell someone to be quiet in not a slightly cunty way.
It is.
Because you can't say like because you're like, hey, can you be a little quiet? Like you still said, hey, be quiet. That's what they heard, and you cannot shush. Shushing is. I even understand.
Oh no, I've said that. That's means for a fight.
Yeah, going like shh. That's crazy. Like come up and talk to me like an adult.
Getting shushed.
But like the problem is normally that person is irrational or drunk. So even if you come in here and just like, hey, do you mind just being a little bit quieter, you're talking and it's interrupting the show, they'll still be like, who the fuck are you to tell me that? And you're
right.
Like, all right.
And then now you're having a conversation in the audience.
Yeah.
You know, so now it's like you're interrupting the show.
Yeah, I've had plenty of people try to fight me at Rockies for just being like,
dude, your boy almost got maced.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's when people are having fun and they don't think they're in the wrong, and then someone tells them like, hey, you're actually like pissing everybody off around you. It's like, dude, I'm what the hell was I doing wrong? Like people, no one ever leaves gracefully.
No, I mean, there's even the crazy times where someone is doing that, and then finally one of the comics is like, dude, everyone here hates you, and it gets like a big laugh, and he's like,
right.
You're like, see, do you guys hate him? And they're like, yeah. And then the person's still like, I'm not gonna stop. That one's crazy.
You're just a monster.
Yeah, you're an animal.
Well, dude, I mean, working the door, I've had someone spit in my face too at Sunset. We kicked him out through the back, and he just turned around and spit right in my face, and then I walked out, grabbed the hat off his head, and then I just dropped it and walked away. The Lord touched me.
Put some fear of God in him and got away.
But I like everything. It took every ounce of. I like, because my thing is, there's not going to be one swing.
No.
Like, and there's no one to pull me off him. This was a scrawny fella.
Yeah, you would have whooped.
I just probably would have went to jail. I probably would have killed him.
Yeah.
A spit to the face.
That's crazy.
You have to walk away. I can't, like, if the second it starts, I can't turn it off. I'm not saying, like, I'm like, dude, like, don't, like, fear me. But I'm saying this guy was smaller than me, and he spit in my face, and it was just us two in an alley.
That's just also an insane, like, yeah,
it's
spitting
crazy.
is
well, he was like one of the young Austin rich kids that just have a stick up their ass that are just privileged. Like this girl who can interrupt the comedy show and then pay it off after, you know?
Yeah, fuck.
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
it's the world we live in.
God damn.
And these were just two young college girls that identified as lesbians. They were on a date.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
But you just take one look at them, and they're like, yeah, well. You'll have a boyfriend by next semester.
Yeah, you're just experimenting.
Yeah. But I don't want to be too crass.
No.
You know. But what's up, dude? Anything new with you? Where you been? You just went somewhere, didn't you? Kind of semi recently. You left the state.
I went back to California for like a wedding. I think we talked about that on here.
Same. Yeah, I went back to California.
I've been getting into like weird. I've been really into game show conspiracy theories, like where people like cheat on game shows, like scandals.
Oh, is there a big one?
Dude, there was a how to you want to be a millionaire or how to be a millionaire. The one where you like guess up the gauntlet and it goes for more money.
Oh,
it's like something a millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire. Yeah, but what is
Same
it? Who wants to be a millionaire?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah.
So, there was
Norm Macdonald was on that show.
Really?
Yeah.
That's super cool. So there's this guy who goes on, and so the thing is you have to get through a speed round first to make it on the thing, and he had done it like 3 times, and every time he went, his wife would go.
Is this Jeopardy Jim? Is this the guy?
No. Okay. This is different. So then this guy, it was like his wife and his like friend would go, and they kept not getting through. And then finally he got through and he answered like the first 4 questions, and then they just stop filming. Like they'll do it in 2 days. And he like used he used 2 of his 3 lifelines on the first day. So they were like, there's a whole crew that watches and determines and bases, oh, he's probably going to go this far. It gets suspicious at this point. They're like, dude, this guy's like below average intelligence. And he was like an ex-army guy, and so was his wife and his friend. Well, then the next day he comes back and he would do like, it'd be like
1 lifeline remaining.
And he would come back, and so the question would be like, who's the 6th man you think of, J.R. Smith or James Harden? And he would be like, man, I really want to say James Harden, but I also think it might be J.R. Smith. Bing. And then you could hear a cough in the crowd.
Oh, it was coughs.
So his wife and friend were like smarter and were just sitting in the crowd coughing. And there's like footage of them, like you can see the wife coughing. And then even he gets farther up, and by like, like $50,000, he goes like, I think I'm going to go with like J.R. Smith. And you literally hear him go, no, no, like someone from the crowd.
Oh, shit.
And so he wins the $1 million. And they're like, bro, what? How did that idiot win it? And so they start going back over the tapes. And that's where in this like, it's like a 20-minute documentary on YouTube. You got to watch. I'll send you it. They're like, oh shit, you can hear all these coughs. Like the one of his wife on camera doing it. The no. It is literally every question.
But still, like how, so it's like, so these people are smart enough to win?
Well, it's like you have 3 people, and there was like, they figured that they might also have like an earpiece with someone on the other end. Like that they couldn't prove or anything. But you're not allowed to have like assistance from the crowd. And there's like also audio footage of like the friend literally leaning over to someone and being like, hey, it's D, right? And he's like, yeah, it's D. And the guy's debating B, and he's like, oh yeah, man, I wish I was up there. Like I would totally have the right answers. And then he coughs when he says it. And like, it went to court, and they took him to like the Supreme Court.
Oh my gosh.
Like it was like a huge thing. And like witnesses testified, like people in the audience were like, that man didn't have a cough before or after the taping, only during it. When we did all the lightning rounds, he never coughed once. I could hear his coughing. I thought it was weird. And they reviewed like the tapes and went over it. And then like the guy's defense, he was just like, no, I knew everything. I'm smart. And then the guy said that he had hay fever his whole life, and it was like a severe condition. And then the Supreme Court ruled that they were guilty. They didn't get any of the money. They had to pay back all of the court fees, and then they all got like 2 years suspended sentences in prison for it.
So they didn't get locked up.
They didn't get locked up, but
still losing the money after you think you got one off.
Yeah, dude, the feeling, because they were like,
that's like such a, they're like hiding in plain sight. The cough is wild.
It's so obvious. And then they said, like, when he wins.
I'm surprised during the show they didn't catch on to that.
Yeah, I don't know how you didn't hear, especially when he goes, no.
Yeah.
Like, that's so suspicious.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How no one else in the place was like, did you hear him say no? Like,
yeah, that's wild.
So after that, they implemented like a no coughing rule, like, or no, if you're making noise, you're
no
removed
coughing,
from the audience.
Dude. It's really played in the COVID era.
Yeah. It was crazy because there's like ones where a guy like figured out like in the 60s, like a whammy machine, like it would just changing one. He was just smart enough to be like, oh, there's a pattern. And then
the
like
whammy machine?
It was this game where like you would spin, and then it would be like a board with like a bunch of like 350 Bermuda, like 150, $100,000, like, and you'd win prizes, and then they would change. And this guy figured out that like every 9 seconds, this one on this tick is always plus money. And so he won like 38 spins in a row.
Damn. Wasn't there a big one for the prices, right? Like someone like got their hands on a catalog.
Yeah, they got it to like a 5-digit perfect amount. So literally like he guessed $197.58. I don't know the exact, but he guessed it like that, to where they were like, there's no way.
And he got it right?
Perfectly on the dot.
What a dumbass.
Yeah, pick off by like 2 or 3 numbers.
Well, I guess like you just want to, because like if someone just does one number above you like a cunt.
Yeah, you're fucked.
You're fucked. So it's like you got to dial it in.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, shit. But yeah, I was like, oh, this is fascinating, because the guy who like figured out how to rig the whammy machine, like they ended up hiring him to develop a software where it did, because he was like, I could make something where you could not have this happen. And then he lost all his earnings, and so then he tried to pitch them like, dude, what if you had me come back as like kind of like a heel, and like I'll play on normal mode? And they were just like, dude, go fuck yourself. And so then the guy just had to like get like a software job and like has a shitty life now.
There's a guy famously in my hometown, 2 grades above me, who stole a MacBook from Best Buy, and then 3 days later felt guilty, brought it back, and gave the loss prevention team notes on how to prevent it, and they didn't press charges.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, fuck, I guess you gotta like...
tip of the cap a little.
Yeah.
But you got outsmarted by a high schooler.
Good on the Best Buy too, because like I feel like 9 out of 10 times they would have been cunts have been like, no, we're still pressing charges, because they're embarrassed. But I respect them for being like, oh yeah, those are good notes. It happens. It's a kid.
The Geek Squad. Oh shit.
Oh, dude,
the Geek Squad. I did like that. You don't see the Geek Squad vans rolling out in the streets anymore.
Not like they used to.
To see a Best Buy is a sight to behold. Honestly, like I told my girlfriend, it's like a white buffalo. We got to pull over and take pictures. Like our kids aren't going to see this. We have to get out. We got to start. I need to get into a Best Buy before it's too late.
There's one over by my old place.
Yeah, dude. We got to get. Maybe we'll get some content. We'll go into the Best Buy.
They're cool, dude. Because a Best Buy has like TVs, game systems, and then it has just like recording equipment and like housing stuff. Like they have like cool ass living room.
And it goes
setups.
beyond that. It's so nostalgic for me, because we had one we lived on a hill, no flex or nothing. It was just a normal hill, the type of hill you might see in like Juarez, Mexico, like a.
I was thinking like Whoville, but Juarez and Whoville are pretty similar.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
They got a Grinch. Yeah. I don't know his name, but he works for the cartel. Anyways, so what was I talking?
Best Buy, nostalgic.
Yeah, so we used to, like, for fun, just walk down. We would collect our quarters. There was a Jack in the Box right next to the Best Buy. So they had, back in the Dizzy, 2 tacos, 99 cents.
Great deal.
Remember that? So we'd go down there, and you feel like a big dog just purchasing your own meal, you know? And then we would take the tacos, we'd munch them, go into the Best Buy, and then, like, you could sit down and just play. We would play like Shrek the video game.
Yeah, you'd loiter.
Yeah, you would loiter. We would play video games, go back to the TV room. They had like a projection room that we would like go into.
They have surround sound you could turn on,
insane.
Dude.
You're playing with all types of gadgets. Like they have everything on display. You're like, you go to the phone section, you're flipping over the sidekicks. It's amazing.
Best Buy. Yeah, we had one really close to us, and it was this shit. Like a new video game would come out, and I'd like, I got allowance as a kid, not to flex. And I would like save up my allowance when the new Madden come out, and I'd like ride my bike down to Best Buy and like buy the game, and you do the same thing. Like you play with everything. Be the one place your mom was like, "Oh, I got to run to Best Buy," and you're like, "I want to come with you."
Yeah, Best Buy was a good one to go with, Mom. I would like the occasional Costco run for the samples.
Oh, Costco's great. The samples. I thought it was
Trader Joe's. You trick yourself because there's only one sample, and like you can't keep going back.
Yeah, and it's as a kid, you don't want like a black bean quiche.
Yeah, or like a butternut squash lasagna.
Yeah, I know.
That's what you're getting.
Yeah, you're like, at Costco they gave me a sample of a churro. Like,
yeah,
that was the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Costco's just giving you the things that you know what it's gonna taste like.
Yeah, Costco was dope, and it was just so big, and it'd be like weird stuff. Like you're like, dude, they have an inflatable pool in the middle of the store.
And then the movie Employee of the Month came out, and I just kept picturing that they had a fort like up there, like because dude, I mean, you would need to like. If you want a 32 pack of Bounty, you got to get the guy on the crane.
Yeah,
he's got to get up there.
Yeah,
you know,
he'd have to scale Everest to get you some dry hands.
And it's also like an old Hispanic man who's doing this just so he can pay for his granddaughter's quinceañera. Like it's horrible.
She's using ice picks.
Yeah, it's Everest.
Do you want Bounty or Charmin?
It's a solo free climb.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
Yeah, one snaps off, he's hanging, just dangling above. You're like, oh no.
But yeah, man, those runs were fun. The grocery store was okay. I'm a big fan of the produce section, also the bakery.
Yeah, the Mister would be all cool, and then you put your hands on like you'd be all cold in the frozen aisle. Go put your hands on like the warm bakery aisle.
And the Texas listeners won't know what this is about, but Ralph's back in California, dude, my hometown Ralph's, like it got like a makeover. I think.
Yeah, the Ralph's where I live. I think
John they called him John Taffer, and he said, "Shut it the fuck down."
Yeah,
I think they did a full reboot because that place. I mean, it's like, and you got a nice Starbucks in there now. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Ralph's are always clutch with the Star. I mean, I think Randall's is a subsect of Kroger, but Randall's is a shithole.
Yeah,
Randall's is out here.
There was one here in Austin that shut down within a month of me like living here. It was like close to my house, and then HEB is just like the HEB sent their goons over, and they were like hanging out in the lot, scaring away the customers. I think.
Yeah, I went to, there was Randall's by my place for a while, and it shut down also.
Because I'm that type of asshole too. It's like once I find out everyone likes this grocery store, I'm going to the offbeat.
Yeah, I don't want to follow them. But honest to God, the first time like I went in HEB because like the Randall's closed, I was like, fuck, I guess I gotta go. And I was just like, dude, nowhere else. This is the best.
It's just a grocery store though. What am I missing? I'm
just
missing
the high
something.
Quality like. They have everything. I like that they have like
their brand
stuff, like the mi tiendas, like the tortillas and the fucking the like tamales and the salsa and the like. I just like the
I like the Mexican stuff. They got good chorizo in there. I will say that. And you can get the prepaid or the pre-made enchiladas that you just put in your oven. I'm a big fan of those. They're a little pricey, but I like them.
You can get sushi too, which is cool. Like my girl loves sushi, so I can go
to
like.
It's funny you say that because me and your girlfriend just yesterday were discussing the new sushi balls at HEB. They're actually a triangle, but you know, not in a way like that. You know, just not like I want to take her out for a sushi ball.
No, I don't know sushi. She never talked to me about sushi balls, but it's fine.
Oh wow, dude, you need to. Hey, listen, man, you need to sit her down and get to know her better.
Yeah,
she loves sushi balls. Dude.
What the fuck is a sushi ball?
She was raving about the sushi balls.
I don't.
HEB now sells like. I think it was Erica. now, was it not Erica that had this conversation?
It sounds like
they said it's a little triangle like rice thing with a little like you hold it with the seaweed and inside is like spicy tuna. They're fire.
Oh, that's cool.
HEB's making them now.
Yeah, and
you can get those in Japan, dude.
That's sick. Yeah, and it's good. Like, and
it's really good.
I'll grab it. It's cheap too. Like, it's affordable, and I bring it home for Erica, and it's like I brought home like a fucking like the Holy Grail.
I think HEB does like a half price Thursdays or something.
There's like a sushi discount day,
something like that.
And then like there's like super HEBs where they have restaurants inside of them and shit.
HEB, yeah, I have seen they have like a barbecue restaurant inside.
Yeah, the one on Lakeway over there.
And there's like the hood ones that have like a Metro PCS inside.
Yeah, the one by where I live now has a fucking jeweler inside of it,
That's crazy.
And a salon, which is like the funniest thing ever.
It's very Mexican. I went to the rally track out. I don't even. Oh, it's called like Willis, Texas, or something. I don't know, but Yeah, we got an off-roading scooter on a rally racing track this last weekend for the Scoot videos, and I was in the rally car. I got a little cut on my eye, dude, from the gravel.
Ooh.
I don't know if you see that.
Yeah,
but we were out there, and like I was to meet Dean, and he hits me up and he's like, "Hey, get me something to eat if you don't mind. Like, just get me some lunch. Like, I got you, bro. Like, you're putting us on. Like, absolutely." But what he didn't mention is that it's just out in the middle of nowhere. So I get there, the only thing is a supermercado, and so I walked in. And what was my point of all this, dude? Golly, Brandon. What was I getting at here?
We were talking about sushi and like meals, and then there was a jeweler inside, and you're like, that's really Hispanic.
That's what I'm getting at. Inside the supermercado, which is just like a Mexican market.
Yeah.
They always have, like, in the back, in a lot of, like, in the Mexican neighborhoods here in Austin, they have like fucking pawn shops in there. There's a gas station by where I used to live off of William Cannon that just had a full-on pawn shop. And, like, one of the things you always see is karaoke machines. They've always got like 8 to the 14 karaoke machines.
High selling by demand of that.
Yeah, and they're like stacked by price too. It's insane. And I don't understand what that's about, but I like it. They're always trying to just swoop something up. That's a communal thing. It's like, I don't need it anymore. I'm going to give it here, get a little money, and then you can buy it for way cheaper than I bought it for.
Yeah, there's just the chump is the first person who bought it.
Yeah, and it's also like, I think it's a quick way to get some cash.
That's definitely the thing.
Yeah.
This is a fun episode, dude.
Let's wrap it, dude.
We should get out of here.
I'm so tired. I got to go.
You got work?
Yep. I'm going straight to it from here. It's going to be a rough night. Lady's out of town, which means I will get sleep tonight.
Good sleep?
Ayo.
Yep.
But yeah, man, this has been a pleasure as always, Brandon. I love you.
Love you too, buddy.
Big dog, Captain's Dogs. Just follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, same. Follow me too.
Woof, woof.
Woof, woof.